Hey, what's up guys? I'm back here with another video, and this is going to be my Brotherhood of Steel build. If you're a subscriber of my channel, this gameplay isn't going to be anything new to you, because this is mostly how I play my game. In this video, I wanted to talk about something that I've been noticing in today's society, and how things are changing. And the best way I can describe it is that when you look at something like the pursuit of happiness, uh, people are getting caught up in sort of the pursuit and never really reaching the happiness aspect of that. And today there's a heavy rise in depression, and there's a heavy rise in multiple physical illnesses, and I'm trying to figure out, what's the cause of that. People aren't as social as they used to be. It's not as easy to find new friends. People don't really give you sort of like the time of day, and people just don't know how to be social anymore. Like certain social etiquettes have just gone out the window. And I live in the northeastern part of America, sort of right next to New York City, kind of. For those of you in the States, I live in Jersey, so I live pretty close to New York, but I mean, maybe it's the area I'm located in. I'm not too sure, but people nowadays are just not social whatsoever. It's very difficult to hold a conversation. For me, it's just like, I'm always having to start the conversation and sort of like urge it on, and just like find things to talk about. I mean, because when you have a conversation with someone, you're engaging them. You go back and forth on various topics, thoughts, ideas, like a normal conversation. Unless you live under a rock, you've had a conversation with someone. But I mean, nowadays it just seems like people are just zombies. There's nothing to them. They're just sort of going through life with no meaning, and they're just stuck in this pursuit for happiness, and they never get there. And this is what I've noticed in society, and I'm trying to figure out why. Is it just me? Am I seeing things that aren't there, or are these changes actually happening? Are people losing their social skills, if you will, because of how society is structured today? Is it technology? Is it the way we're living? Is it education? I really don't know. So I was wondering if anybody else has seen this sort of decline in social skills, and or is it just me and I'm just sort of looking at things that aren't there? But yeah, I mean, I've tried to record this video a few times. I've gone through like a couple commentaries, and every time I went back to listen to it, didn't really come out right. So I think I'm gonna stick with this one. But let me know what you guys think of this. This society, is the way people interact changing? Are people less social? Is it just me? Is it probably just the area I live in? Because I mean, a lot of things have changed. The way you talk to people. It's just not the same. There's sort of a there's just sort of something missing, you know, that used to be there. I remember, you know, as a kid, you know, there would be this sort of flow to people, you know. I mean, I really do think that people are less happy nowadays, and I think that's concerning. People are less happy. People are less social, and I think those two have a lot to do with one another. And it goes to show what people need out of life. You know, they need I think they need to have, you know, meaningful connections with other people, and I think technology is changing, and we're not changing fast enough for it. Or it could be something else. It could just be that people are becoming assholes, and I haven't caught up yet. It could be, maybe. But yeah, I mean, just, you know, what's going on? People really just don't, you know, I mean, there was just this sort of like charisma that people had back then that you don't see a lot nowadays. Like, what would be a good example? Yeah, you really can't think of an example. Well, the best example I could think of is probably like the movies. Like back then, the way people would talk would be like sort of how they talk in the movies. You know, there would be like conversations. It would be meaningful conversations. You'd enjoy someone else's, you know, company, if you will, and you'd get, you know, you would have a meaningful conversation. And I think nowadays those are really far in between, and I wanted to know if anybody else out there was getting that same vibe and feeling, that socializing is just not the same as what it used to be. You know, even walking down the street, it's just a weird. There's not a lot of people outside either. I mean, it's the summer, and you know, when I go outside, there's really not a lot of people out, you know, compared to what it used to be. And you know, I remember the streets being full of people and everyone, you know, having a good time and on their way, and you know, different conversations going on and chit chat. And I mean, if you go out nowadays, the streets are pretty, you know, mellow, quiet, sort of barren compared to what it used to be before. So you know, as a person who likes to make observations and really pay attention to what's going on, you know, I see that people really aren't as happy as before. People aren't as happy as how they used to be, and at the same time, people aren't as social or talkative or happy as they used to be. You know, it's sort of like the same thing. You know, that social aspect and charisma is sort of diminished along with people's happiness, and you walk around and people are just zombies. They're just out of it. I mean, I don't know what's going on. You know, there's a rise of all these terrorist attacks and just bad things going on, and I think there could be a connection with that. You know, people aren't being as social, or people, you know, I mean, and if you're not being, you know, as social as you were before, then you know, maybe people just don't know how to handle it mentally, and they're just sort of breaking down, and this is what, you know, all these terrorist attacks are about, and all this rise in crime, and people going nuts. You know, are they just breaking down because society, you know, isn't how it's supposed to be, or how they remember it, because of the way things are changing with social skills and other aspects. I'm sure there's a lot more to it. I mean, the human psyche is so beyond our understanding. You know, once you think you got one thing figured out, another thing changes. You know, sort of like women. I apologize if there's any female viewers that I have, but yeah, I mean, even, you know, just things are constantly sort of just not what they seem, and once you think something means, you know, this, it ends up being something else, and it's the human mind. It's constantly changing, and like, I really want to figure out what's going on, and I think people should do something about it. You know, there's a decline in social skills, there's a decline in happiness, there's a rise in crime, there's a rise in these terrorist attacks. You know, something has to be connected. You know, I'm not an expert in this, but it sort of, you know, makes sense, at least to me. You know, let me know what you guys think. Am I making connections that aren't there, or have you seen and observed the things that I'm talking about? The decrease in social skills, and people being open and talking and cheerful and happy. You know, you know when you're happy, and you know when you're sad, and I think people are a lot less happy than they used to be, and I'm just sort of curious to why that is. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. This sort of decline in social skills and happiness, and then the rise in depression and negative energy. So let me know what you guys think about that. Sort of people getting caught in the pursuit of happiness and sort of losing out on the happiness. Or am I just completely crazy and making connections that aren't there? But yeah, I would like to have a conversation and discussion with a few of you guys on this subject. So let me know what you guys think. So yeah, a little depressing, the topic for today, but I hope you guys don't you know, just sort of, I think people need to pay attention a lot more to what's going on, and really start making changes to make a difference, and make the way of life for society better, for the majority of us better. So not that I'm sort of depressed or anything, just sort of making that observation in general. So yeah, guys, again, let me know what you think. Please comment below and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and we'll have deep, meaningful conversations. I'll see you guys in the next